Hello, welcome to SUSE Live. My name is Brent Schroeder, and I'm the host and the head of the Office of the CTO at SUSE. On SUSE Live, what we want to do is discuss key issues and opportunities facing you as an enterprise, and how SUSE and the rest of the industry is trying to address those and bring you better solutions. Joining me today is Abhinav Puri. He's the general manager of the SUSE AI business, and we're here to talk about GTC. Nvidia GTC, their annual user conference, and some of the major announcements that were done there, the implications of those announcements on you as an enterprise, and some of the strategies you can be employing and what SUSE is doing in that context to help you out. Abhinav, tell me a little bit more about your role, and then let's kind of dive into GTC and what you heard there this week.
Yeah, for sure. So, hi everyone. Glad to be here. And I drive portfolio solutions at SUSE, and SUSE AI is one of the key solutions that we brought to market last year. And that's my role. I help drive product engineering and product marketing for SUSE AI.
Yeah. So a lot of announcements this week, and obviously maybe a little bit NVIDIA-centric, but also a lot of partner announcements that were there. What were a couple of them that stood out to you during the week?
I'll share some of the key takeaways, Brent, that are really relevant to our industry as a whole and to SUSE specifically as well. Because I think the announcements, there has been ample media coverage on that this week. So there's been a lot of noise, right?
I heard there's 25,000 people here in San Jose, which is a lot for the San Jose convention.
And I imagine an equal number attending virtually as well. So it's been quite a lot. But let me talk about a few takeaways, which are very relevant and kind of stuck with me. So number one, agentic AI is on the rise across industries. And you see organizations want to leverage AI agents in their environment to drive automation, to drive operational efficiencies. And this phenomenon, combined with the fact that the advancements you see in the reasoning model space, it effectively implies that the demands and the requirements on compute, on memory, on networking, they're just going to increase exponentially. So a lot of the announcements that you see this week, specifically with regards to what Nvidia shared around Blackwell Ultra or the future Vera Rubin GPU architectures, they're focused on addressing this theme, basically maximizing the price to performance to cost ratios. So that's number one. And in that theme, another interesting thing that has been announced is around AI factories. Your purpose-built infrastructure for this agentic AI, Gen AI applications for organizations to help drive those efficiencies when they're managing their AI workloads, their AI environments. So that was pretty interesting as well. Then, Brent, over the course of this week, I've had an opportunity to meet with a lot of industry leaders from across the spectrum. Heard some interesting sessions and talks. Specifically, I'd like to call out that in the regulated industry space, in the areas with regulated use cases, your financial services, your healthcare, aerospace, defense, public sector, what we are seeing is that all of these organizations, they want to leverage all these AI-driven innovations, and they want to do that in their environment. However, they want to do all of that in-house, even one step further, in an air-gapped environment, because they want complete control over their sensitive, private, confidential data. So that's another piece that has kind of stood out. Another interesting element, which I'll keenly observe how it develops over a period of time, is NVIDIA's announcements around the personal computing space with regards to the DGX Sparks and the station platforms, with an objective to drive developer experience, developer productivity when it comes to the AI environments. So we keep an eye out on that in the future. And finally, I think what really stood out to me was that open source development, open source strategies are front and center in the world of AI right now. Because it is giving organizations the ability to have that flexibility, to have that choice in this rapidly changing and evolving market so that they can innovate.
And I like that aspect, because then kind of in the spirit of open source, people can build upon what others have done, right? And so that just accelerates the market even faster than if everybody's kind of working off in their own little private world, duplicating work.
Absolutely. And case in point, Nvidia announced the Isaac Root N1 foundational models, which they claim the first of its kind as fully open, fully customizable to drive robotic humanoid development. And they will be releasing those for robotic developers.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of activity, especially in this space and in the world of open source.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's great. Yeah.
So the robotic one, let's bridge that into discussing maybe about a couple of the key use cases that we see emerging and that were talked about at the thing. Robotics is
that's
very
obviously
interesting
there.
in so many different ways that can be applied.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's definitely interesting. Having said that, there are other areas as well, where these use cases, and we can talk about some specifics there. So let's see how agentic AI can help drive automation and operational efficiencies in the world of customer service and customer service workflows. Specifically, think of a scenario where an end customer generates a very complex query or a very complex question to customer service. Now you have an AI agent that breaks down that query into multiple tasks, so to speak. Another AI agent then gathers the information that's required to analyze those tasks. Then the third agent actually does the analysis and the reasoning to address and answer those tasks. And then finally another agent combines all of that together, creates an answer and responds to the customer. All of this happening in real time. So imagine the level of operational efficiencies and automation that we have driven with agentic AI workflows. So that's another example in this space.
So each of these agents in that workflow are specialized at their particular aspect of
it.
And can be carrying it on asynchronously with the other agents. And then it flows as they get their information. And comes to conclusions.
And they connect to each other and solve complex business problems. So that's a concrete example, in that space that we can talk about.
And I think it's, one of my experiences with AI that I think really relates to that is coming back to the data, right? Is how fast and how much data do you have access to, right? And what's a customer service person's ability to remember how much, right? And so, just in an instant, the agent can comb through so much data so quickly. And it could be human assisted, right? You could have a human on the line and the agentic workflow is able to help,
fast track
and get them the information they need, instantaneously in a conversation.
Precisely. And to that point of, analyzing vast volumes of data sets, think of the pharma industry. Think of problems like drug discovery, where you need a very, analysis of a very vast data set of information. The advancements, especially around the GPU architectures with the Blackwell Ultra or the, Vera Rubin coming in the future, this is where they play a critical role as well. Fast tracking analysis of vast volumes of data. Helping us get to those life-saving treatments in a faster manner with faster drug discovery. So that's another concrete example of how these innovations will play into different industries, whether it is robotics, whether it is customer service, whether it is pharma and drug discovery. So there are a lot more. This week we've seen a lot more.
So let's then, obviously with innovation becomes challenges to adopt.
For sure.
So what are a couple of the highlights of the challenges that companies are still going to need to think about, build a strategy around, prepare for, or at least go in with eyes wide open, as they start to build into these?
Great question, actually, Brent, because through the week, there have been so many conversations on how organizations have started on their AI journeys, the challenges they have faced, and some of the activities they have done to navigate those challenges. So let me share some of the ones that stuck with me and that I see prevalent. Number one, the whole world of AI is evolving very rapidly. I think we can all, see that happening and playing out in front of us. New tools, technologies, frameworks, they're getting launched every other day. What is relevant today may not be so relevant in 6 to 8 months from now. So for an organization, the challenge is that how do you keep up with this pace of innovation in a safe, trusted, and secure manner? That's very important. So that's one angle. Then another angle is that most of our organizations, irrespective of which industry we are in, we have these complex, multi-step business processes and workflows that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like think of those intricate sequence of actions that you perform in your organization, which involves some decision making at some point, some data analysis at another point, some human level reasoning and interpretation and input at another point. Mm-hmm. These are these complex business processes that are ripe with inefficiencies.
Right.
They impact every organization's ability to move forward at pace. Mm-hmm. So the challenge here is, how do you then leverage AI agents and agentic workflows at scale in a secure manner to address these inefficiencies?
Two interesting points: at scale and in a secure manner.
Exactly. And there's more, right? I mean, where this comes from. So when you're trying to scale an AI environment, another challenge which organizations face is around the privacy and security of their enterprise data. And not just that, what they need to ensure is that the output they are getting from these applications, that it's accurate when they're doing it at scale. More importantly, that it's not giving you answers which are biased or which are violating your company's brand guidelines or corporate policies, or spitting out information that is confidential and sensitive for your organization. So how do you ensure that does not happen? That's another challenge. And while you're doing all of this, right, again, when you move from small-scale POC environments to large production deployments, your costs pile up, they add on, to a point that they start becoming prohibitive. And at that state, it is very important that organizations are leveraging their AI applications, their language models, they are performing at their peak. Their hardware and compute resources, they are fully utilized, so that their investments are fully and completely leveraged. That's another challenge. How do they do that? And finally, I'll come back to a point I made earlier around regulated industries. They want to do all of this. They're very embedded, they have the investments, and they want to drive these innovations. However, they want to do that such that everything is within their control, in-house, in air-gapped setups.
To stay out of trouble.
To stay out of trouble. So, yeah, those are some of the key themes that I see, you know, in the last several months, and also highlighted in this week by speakers from different industries.
So, what are we doing? What's SUSE doing to help customers, and how can we, you know, bring value, help customers accelerate it, achieve their objectives, and stay out of trouble?
For sure.
As they go forward.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing quite a lot to help customers navigate some of these challenges. And I think I'll start with just putting a stake in the ground that from SUSE's perspective, SUSE AI is a platform to deploy and run your AI applications. So the software infrastructure layer on which your AI applications and LLM-based apps run. That is the space that we are operating in. Given that, some of the things that, you know, we are doing to help address these challenges. Now, I shared that the world of AI is rapidly evolving. You need to keep up with the pace of innovation. What does SUSE give you? SUSE gives you a library of curated and validated open source projects. We as SUSE are investing in securing and validating these components, which you will need in your AI infrastructure environment, so that your time to value, your innovations are fast-tracked. And then we take that curated library and also provide you specific blueprints, which are step-by-step implementation guides, so that you can implement those components in your environment, again, fast-tracking your time to value. Then we take that one step further and help your developers focus on high-value activities by automating repetitive tasks by supporting agentic AI workflows. Then we lock that entire environment down with SUSE AI security, so that you can have complete trust that all of your confidential data, your private enterprise sensitive data, is in your control. We go one step further there as well and provide you with guardrails that ensure that these applications are performing in their intended way, so that you implement all of this in a safe, ethical, and responsible manner. And while you're doing all of that, with SUSE AI observability, you have complete visibility into the health and status of your AI infrastructure, so that you have complete control in your hands. And you can maximize your performance, maximize your resource utilization. And that is, put all of that together, that's the SUSE AI platform that we're bringing to the table.
And I think it definitely brings out two key requirements, like you say, the operating safely from a data standpoint. Don't let my data get out, and help me with the ethical guardrails of is my data biased? Am I hallucinating? And are my results kind of in line with what my goals are?
Yes.
Ensuring that happens, and then cost effectively using it, because that's I don't want to have a lot of Blackwell devices around that I'm using 20%.
Yeah, that are underutilized.
Right.
I mean, money is finite at the end of the day.
So if you can have much better insight into how that's being used, it lets you kind of forecast and budget
precisely.
Better manner, so.
And we made a couple of other interesting announcements this week as well, Brent. So we announced the tech preview of SUSE Linux Enterprise Server on Nvidia GTC, effectively bringing enterprise-grade reliability and security for edge and embedded environments. So that was one.
Okay.
Additionally, we also showcased the Nvidia Docker in host-based networks on Rancher, effectively offering a solution to accelerate 5G edge deployments targeted at telco companies. So we're doing a lot with SUSE AI specifically and SUSE in general to help our customers navigate some of these challenges across industries.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me this week, and so exciting. We could probably have a new conversation every quarter.
You bet.
And have new topics.
Like I said,
to talk about, because it's moving so fast.
Exactly, it's moving so fast. So maybe in another quarter we're sitting down and analyzing some new developments.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me, Brent.
Thank you. So with that, that's it for SUSE Live today. And I hope your takeaways were that I know there's many daunting tasks and challenges with adopting AI, and concerns of how to get ROI, where to invest it, etc. And many announcements coming out this week with GTC. What I encourage you to do is follow up with us. Look at what SUSE is doing to help you do that in a safe, ethical, and high performance manner, and see how we can help you realize your goals with SUSE AI. And thank you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.